Hello everybody, so in this video we're going to be looking at the rhythm section of the exam, which is usually the first question. So we're going to be talking about irregular time signatures of 5/8, 7/4, 5/4 and 7/8, the grouping of notes and rests in these time signatures and the irregular divisions of simple time values. So first we're going to start off by looking at 5/4, which can be divided into 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2. So we've got the 4 on the bottom, which means we're working with crotchets. So this, you can imagine this as being a bar of 2/4 plus a bar of 3/4, or a bar of 3/4 plus a bar of 2/4. So here's some examples here that I've written out. So this would be our 2/4 bar, and this would be our 3/4 bar. So as we can see, we've got crotchet, crotchet, and then dotted minim. This one, again, this is our little 2/4, and then our 3/4. And then with the rest, again, we need to make sure that we're finishing off the grouping. So as we've got a dotted crotchet, we need to finish off the 2/4 bar before we can move on to this section. So that means we need a quaver rest there to complete that little bit, and then we can put the dotted minim rest there. So on this side, we've got the 3 plus 2 examples. So again, imagine this is a 3/4 bar and then a 2/4 bar. 3/4, 2/4, and then 3/4 and 2/4. So 7/4 works very similar to 5/4, however we've got now working with 7 crotchets in the bar instead of 5. So this can be divided 2 plus 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2 plus 2. Again, we can look at this as 2/4, 2/4, 3/4 or 3/4, 2/4, 2/4. So the examples on the left are the 2/2/3 division. So as we can see, we've got minim, minim, dotted minim. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is quite easy to see the division as we've got a dotted minim here. So that's our 3/4. And then we've got our 2 and 2. And here again, we need to make sure the rests add up correctly. So we've got a minim at the end of the bar. So we need to finish off this 3 with the minim. We can't join these two rests together as this is separate. So we've got the minim with a crotchet rest to make the 3. So we'll cover those. And then we've got our 2/4 bars. And then on this side, we've got the 3 plus 2 plus 2 divisions. So again, we can see 3 crotchets in this, 2 and 2, 3, 2 and 2. And here again, so the 3's at the beginning, so we need to finish off this minim with this crotchet rest, and then we've got this minim, but we need to make up another bar of 2/4, so we can just put a 2-beat rest in there. Here are some examples now in 5/8, and like 5/4, it's divided 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2, but as there's 8 on the bottom, we're working with quavers. Now I find these a bit more tricky as we need to make sure the beams are correct because we're working with quavers. So we've got a group of 2 and then a group of 3 here. We don't beam it all across in one just because it looks a bit busy on the page, and it's easier to read when it's divided like this. So 1, 2 plus 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2 plus 1, 2, 3. So remember, we're working in quavers, so 2 quavers, 3 quavers. And again, 2 quavers and 3 quavers. And the 3 plus 2 examples, again, we've got 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And now finally, we've written 7/8. So like again, 7/4, it can be divided 2 plus 2 plus 3 or 3 plus 2 plus 2. But again, we're working with quavers, so it's 7 quavers per bar. So this first example, we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. These could be grouped together as one beam across, but I prefer to split it up. But again, that can be grouped because that's both the 2 bars. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So now on the right hand side, we've got 3 quavers, and then 2 and 2, 3, 2 and 2, 3, 2 and 2. So like before, this could be written as 2 separate crotchet rests like here, or you can do it as a minim rest. Either's fine because it's part of that half of the bar. So now we're going to look into irregular time divisions. So these are when there's a little number above a group of notes, as it doesn't usually fit into that time signature. So when we've got a group of 5, 6 or 7, they use the same time values as a group of 4. And when there's a group of 9, it uses the same as a group of 8. So I'm just going to explain that. So here we've got 5 semiquavers, and we need to figure out what beat that's meant to fit into. So as it's 5, it uses the same as a group of 4. So if we chop off 1, we've got 4 semiquavers, and 4 semiquavers are usually in a crotchet. So that means that this needs to be played in the same time as 1 crotchet. Here we've got a group of 7. So 7 again uses the same as 4. So if we chop off the last 3 to make 4, we've got 4 semiquavers. So again, that needs to fit into 1 crotchet. So we just play 7 notes in the time of 1 crotchet. Here we've got 5 demi-semiquavers. Again, 5 uses the same as a group of 4. So we chop that off and we've got 4 demi-semiquavers. So that adds up to, so we've got 1 semiquaver, 2 semiquaver, which equals a quaver. So we need to play 5 notes in the time of a quaver. Here we've got a sextuplet, so this is 6 quavers. Again, 6 use the same as 4, so we chop off 2 and we've got 4 quavers. Now 4 quavers, that adds up to a minim. So we need to play these 6 notes in the time of a minim. Here we've got 6 demi-semiquavers, so we chop off 2 to make 4, and we've got 4 demi-semiquavers. And in 4 demi-semiquavers, we've got a quaver. And now we've got a group of 9, so we've got 9 demi-semiquavers. So a group of 9 uses 8. So we chop off 1. So now we've got 8 demi-semiquavers, which all adds up into 1 crotchet. So now we've got some examples, and we're going to put what we've learnt so far in context. These are all taken from the ABRSM Grade 5 Theory sample paper. So we need to decide what time signature each of these bars are written in. So the first one can either be in 9/8, 4/4 or 7/8. So I like to start by counting the quavers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quavers. That's an option. So this one is written in 9/8. Now this next one might be a bit more tricky to count the quavers, as we've got different note groupings. But as we know from before, we always bar things as simple to read as possible. So here we've got a quaver that has 2 dots and then a demi-semiquaver. So this adds up to 1 crotchet. Here we've got triplet semiquavers. So as we learnt before, a group of 3 use the same as 2. So we've got 3, 2, so that is the same as a quaver. So we've got a quaver, which is another crotchet. And here we've got a semiquaver, which equals a quaver, another quaver, and a crotchet. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 crotchets. So that is 4, 4. This last one, again, we've got triplets. So these 3 quaver triplets, chop off 1, that is the same as a crotchet. So we've got 1 crotchet, 2 crotchets, and then here we've got quaver, 2 semiquavers, quaver. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quavers. So that one is 7/8. So now here at the bottom, we've got a bar written in compound time, and we need to put it into simple time. Again, this is an example taken from the ABRSM paper. So it's written in 12/8, so that's 12 quavers per bar, and we need to put it into 4/4 or common time. So we'll start off by dividing the beats up, which is how I find this to be an easy start. So I like to start at the end of the bar. So we've got 3 quavers here, so that's 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So when we're putting things into a time signature that they don't belong, we use irregular time divisions, as we learnt before. So I'm just going to start off by writing out the notes as the example above. So we need to make this fit into a crotchet in simple time. So this is 3 quavers and it needs to be in the time of 2 quavers. So we're going to put a triplet bracket over that. And now moving on to the next beat. Again, we've got 3 quavers and we need to make these fit into the time of 2 quavers. So again, we're going to triplet those. And next section. Again, we need these to fit into 2 quavers, so I'm going to triplet that as well. I'm going to put the bracket just so it's clear where it is. And then as this is a rest, we can just put this as a crotchet rest, as there's no need for the dot as we're now in simple time. So I hope you found this video useful. That is just the basics over the rhythm section of the exam, and there are plenty more example questions on the ABRSM website if you want to check those out and give those a go. Thank you.